Шановні колеги, вас вітає туристичний оператор Тревел Дизайнер. І сьогодні наш вебінар присвячений напрямку Зімбабве. Сьогодні з нами пані Софі, яка розповість нам більш детальніше про цю країну. Ми матимемо десь приблизно 30-40 хвилин на презентацію напрямку. І у нас буде запис, у нас будуть питання-відповіді в кінці презентації. Зараз я передаю слово пані Софі, даю їй права, щоб вона змогла зробити свою презентацію.
I want to start by thanking Travel Designer for this opportunity and the interest to know more about our country, Zimbabwe. So I will share the presentation, and I hope we will all enjoy to know more about the country. And obviously, I look forward to the questions. If I'm not speaking up well, please let me know so that I can increase my volume. So Zimbabwe is a country which is located in Southern Africa and is bordered by South Africa to the south and Botswana to the east, to the west, and to the east is Mozambique and Zambia to the north. So it's really in the center of Southern Africa for those who want to do joint packages with either South Africa, Zambia, Mozambique, or Botswana. It's very easy to include Zimbabwe amongst those other countries. So the name Zimbabwe is derived from that infrastructure there, the stone structure, which is called Great Zimbabwe. And in our local language, it's Zimbabwe Mawe, which is House of Stones. That's where the name Zimbabwe comes from. And this is one of the major tourist attractions because during the 1500s, a lot of trade was happening on this Great Zimbabwe between and among Zimbabweans and the Asians. Trading in gold, in porcelain, and things like that. And to the left is our national flag, and the colors, the green represents the vegetation, the yellow, the gold, the red is the blood that was shed during the liberation struggle as we were colonized by the British. And the black is the black people, and the white represents the peace that prevails in the country. That bird on the national flag is the bird which used to hover around the Great Zimbabwe. And it was a symbol, or it used to transmit news, be it of rains. If something bad is happening, they used to communicate with that bird, and it's the fish eagle. So that's the map of Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe is accessible through 3 major international airports. We have an airport here, which is the Victoria Falls, another airport here, Harare International Airport, and then another airport here, the Bulawayo International Airport. So you can actually fly into the country using those 3 international airports, and then you can then do your distribution throughout the country by road. All the major roads linking all the cities are tarred. Only roads in the national parks are gravel roads. So you can see here we have the Great Zimbabwe, which is one of the World Heritage Sites with the waterfall here. And here is the Hwange National Park. From the Great Zimbabwe to Hwange National Park is 1.5 hour drive. And here you can see all the big 5, the elephants, the rhino, and all the others. And then you can actually either fly from Vic Falls to here, Bulawayo, or you can drive. In Bulawayo, we have the Matopos, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. And we have the rhino, the black rhino population, the rock paintings. So from here, you can drive Either you can drive down to Bight Bridge where there are some remains of the dinosaurs, or you can drive up to Mashingo where there's this great Zimbabwe. And then you can either go to the southeastern Lowveld for more authentic wildlife, or you can go to the Eastern Highlands for hiking, for nature, for trails and things like that. Then you can go to Harare, which is the capital, or you can then go to the Manapus. So the main attraction for Zimbabwe is the wildlife, the culture, the man-made attractions. Like this Kariba Dam is a man-made attraction where we can do sunset cruise and a lot of other water activities, including tiger fishing tournaments and houseboats. So it's a man-made lake. It's the biggest actually in Africa. And then I'll move on to the population of Zimbabwe is about 15 million people, and this is our capital, Harare. And the country is 390,000 square kilometers. And the widely spoken languages are English, Shona, and Ndebele, and business is conducted in English. And like I said, we gained our independence in 1980 from the British. So the Zimbabwean system is more British-oriented in terms of the education, in terms of conducting business and everything. So these are the airlines that fly into the country, with Ethiopian Airlines being the major distributor. As they fly into Harare, they fly into Victoria Falls, and they fly into Bulawayo. And they have daily flights into Zimbabwe. And Victoria Falls also has daily flights into Victoria Falls from mainly Ethiopian Airlines, Emirates, Qatar, and South African Airways. And linking South Africa to Victoria Falls is 45 minutes. And from Harare to Victoria Falls is also 45 minutes. For the Harare to Vic Falls route, we have FastJet, which is 2 flights per day. And from Harare to the Eastern Highlands, Mutare, we also have Air Zimbabwe. Air Zimbabwe also flies into Victoria Falls from Harare daily. And FastJet also connects Victoria Falls and Bulawayo daily. So in terms of the air connectivity, those are the 3 places that can be connected by air, and then from there you can distribute by road. This is just a representation of the main hubs. If you are flying Ethiopian Airlines, you go through Addis. If you are flying Qatar, you go through Doha. If you are flying Emirates, you go through Dubai. And if you are flying South Africa Airways, you go through South Africa. In terms of visa, most Ukraine nationals, they do not require to apply for a visa in advance. They can get their visa at the point of entry when they arrive. They are in category B. And the visa fees for single entry is $30 and US for double entry. And then we have a CASA visa, which is specifically for the Victoria Falls area. And with the CASA visa, it's $50 US. You can have multiple entry between Zimbabwe and Zambia. And you can also have day trips to Botswana. Payment is possible by cash or credit card. And the visa is valid for 30 days, the tourist visa, and you can renew it whilst you are in the country. The visa can be applied online using the link that is there, the evisa.gov.zw. You can self-drive, like I've already described earlier on, throughout Zimbabwe, and all you need is your temporary import license for bringing in your vehicle, and you will pay third-party insurance, carbon tax, road access fee, and then your passport, and then you are good to drive in the country. We drive on the left, and we have fuel stations throughout the major, all the roads actually. So it's easy to drive in Zimbabwe, and it's easy to get your driver's license. If you need to have an international driver's license, if it's foreign, it has to have an English translation so that you are able to use it in the country. In terms of money, you can withdraw. Zimbabwe is a multi-currency country. We use United States dollars and other listed international currencies. But US dollar is the widely used currency, and you can get this US dollar on automated teller machines. You can pay by cash or you can pay through international cards. And Wi-Fi is readily available throughout the country as well. In terms of health, most countries need yellow fever vaccination, but Zimbabwe does not require a yellow fever vaccination. However, if you are visiting countries that require yellow fever vaccination, you would then have to check with those countries before you come to Zimbabwe if it's a joint package. In terms of malaria, some zone like the Lower Zambezi, the Eastern Lower Veld, they are malaria zones. So you actually need to check with your doctors if you need to be vaccinated. And then you can, if you need to carry any prophylactics, and then you can do that. What is the best time to visit Zimbabwe? Generally, Zimbabwe can be visited throughout the year. However, our rainy season, which lasts from November to March, is when, if you want to do a safari, you may not be able to view all the animals during the rainy season due to the lush, the green lush, and the various water holes, which would really inhibit the visibility of most animals. However, you can visit the country throughout the year. And for the Victoria Falls, May to October is the best for visiting the Vic Falls before the water levels drop, if you are interested in huge water levels. But if you are not, you can generally visit throughout the year. This is just highlighting our wildlife. Like I mentioned, 25% of the land is reserved for wildlife conservation, which marks the national parks we have in the country, 12 national parks in total, and the sustainable tourism practices, which has enabled us to offer those wildlife experiences. We have the second largest elephant population in the world, and we have the fourth in terms of rhinoceros. And in terms of bird species, those are the species we have. So must-see attractions, obviously, Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. We have the Hwange National Park with the largest elephant population. Mana pools for the authentic wildlife experiences, unspoiled, and for canoeing and walking safaris as well. And then the Great Zimbabwe Monument is about history and culture of Zimbabwe. Gonare Show for the wilderness experience, Eastern Highlands for the hiking experience. And of course, throughout your visit to Zimbabwe, you will encounter the warm and friendly people of Zimbabwe. We are renowned for being warm, friendly, and hospitable people. This is just a picture of a safari experience, a close-up experience with elephants. This was in Mana Pools. This was in Hwange, sorry, close-up with elephants. And this is one of the man-made attractions, the Kariba Dam, where you can do your houseboat, 7 days on houseboat, doing fishing, sunset cruise, and things like that. And then must-do activities. I've already spoken of the safari experiences. We have a lot of cultural activities where you can participate in the local cultures, be it music, be it way of life, be it stone carvings. We are known world over for stone carving. And then you can also do adventure tourism, whitewater rafting, bungee jumping. Hiking is also a must-do activity. And then the conservation and experiential tourism for those who want to participate in conservation initiatives in our national parks. It's a product that is also offered particularly for students who want to take a gap year and visit Africa to do something, they can participate in that. And then our gastronomy, as well as the creative industry and arts crafts industries. So this is just a pictorial slide showing some of the adventure, the whitewater rafting there, the wildlife experience, the culture, drumbeats, relaxation, the gastronomy. That's this one here is the brewing of our traditional beer. And this is an activity of the gap year or those who want to participate in conservation as part of tourism. And then this is the arts and crafts for those who want to participate in our arts and crafts as tourism activities. In terms of accommodation, we have a wide variety of accommodation, from safari luxury accommodation is depicted on this picture, to rustic safari camps, those who want to have a close encounter with the wildlife. We're in the bushes, you can have your rustic camp experience. For those who want to be in a hotel or in a safari lodge, this one here is a lodge, and this one here is a hotel. And this is just depicting some of the interiors of the various hotels we have. This is a lodge in the night where tourists can experience and dinner over the stars and also experience the animals as they come to the water hole here to drink in the night during the end of the day. And this one is our gastronomy. This one is the traditional food, which is the tripe, which is the insides of a cow, and it can be served with our what we call sadza, which is thick porridge, and this relish is eaten during the lunch hour. And this one is also part of the fine dining, which includes a more Western dishes, which is your T-bone steaks, your chips, and your green garden salads, and your wine. We have a lager, which is very popular. Most tourists who have visited Zimbabwe, they are always asking of this lager. It's called the Zambezi lager. It's a Zimbabwean lager. And I spoke of the traditional, which is the sadza, this white stuff here. And here it's served with beef stew and some green vegetables. So this is basically our traditional food, which is eaten by the Zimbabweans on almost every other meal every day. And this is our own lager. And why would you partner Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe is offering this is an opportunity for you to offer your clients an unparalleled mix of adventure, culture, natural beauty in a warm, hospitable, friendly environment, and which is very exceptional. We provide competitive prices that offer exclusive in terms of the exclusivity of experiences that set you apart from other destinations. We are still emerging very much underpopulated in terms of tourism activities, and you have the opportunity to have the world to yourself in Zimbabwe. It's an opportunity to expand your portfolio and delight your clients with new experiences. And tourism is one of the steadily growing sectors in Zimbabwe. And we have experienced a lot of new, unique properties coming up in the new areas that are being opened up for tourism. And in 2025, Zimbabwe was named by Forbes as a must or the best country to visit in 2025, according to travel experts. So this is a compelling invitation for you to consider Zimbabwe on your portfolios. Thank you very much.
Шановні колеги, дякую всім за увагу. Тим, хто дивиться це наживо, хто приєднався, ті, хто буде дивитися цей вебінар в запису. І Також принагідно нагадую, що у нас вже багато матеріалів. Є на нашому YouTube-каналі. Цей вебінар також буде розміщений там. Якщо ви цікавитесь напрямком Зімбабве і хочете спланувати свою подорож, ми завжди поряд для того, щоб допомогти вам з організацією цієї подорожі і зробити ваш відпочинок незабутнім. Дякую вам і thank you, Софі.